right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're a week late, but we have that much more content. Ryan was just telling me he's going to go ahead and run the show here.
I was actually, we had about an hour conversation before we pressed play on this, and I'm not even sure we can cover it all.
Well, I got a fun, true story to begin with. I didn't have any beers, and so I had to get into the margaritas that were for tomorrow or the next day. And yeah, so cheers.
Wow, that's fun. I started with a little bit of Canadian whiskey. I mean, it's nothing flamboyant Well, I mean, margaritas sounds like you're preparing for Cinco de Mayo, which is coming up very shortly, which I'll have to miss, unfortunately, because I'm working. But Canadian whiskey has absolutely zero cultural holiday reference to anything. It's just, I just like it. So there's that.
A little window into our world. Anyway, so trial for Chauvin in the Floyd case has been pushed back now to June 25th. You heard that, right?
I did. And I mean, go ahead.
You're gonna say you can't. I mean, it's not like it's that big of a deal. It can't be what it should be. You know, there's not going to be any like public executions or anything. It's just gonna be, you know, probably the minimum plus a year or something.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Well.
I think mandatory minimums are something like, you know, like closer to 6 years. But it really depends on whether or not the judge talks to police unions or not.
That's true. And then when is the trial for the other ones? What is it? Tao Thao, J. Alexander Kang, and Thomas Lane. The other three that still, you know, they're charged with accessory. They got a trial coming up too, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I mean, we have 3 counts of guilty here, so accessory should be a slam dunk, right?
Yeah, but every jury is different.
True. That is true. I think that's actually kind of a flaw in our system, because you can get, you know, it's what happens when you get 12 jurors who watch Fox News religiously on the same jury.
I actually can't believe they could get 12 people to agree on anything, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point. To beyond shadow of a doubt, you got to have 12 people who go, yeah, no, I can't really argue that. But this world is different. Today's world is totally different because people see and believe different things given the same exact evidence. 100%. It's crazy. I mean, we have, it's a COVID, for example, not really a fake disease at all. Kind of a big deal, but Fox News and their pundits ran away with it and were like, oh yeah, no, it's not that big of a deal. And then when it was a big of a deal, they were like, they couldn't backtrack, because if they backtrack, that's admitting wrong, and you can't do that in their world, apparently. You can't be like, oh, we have new evidence, so we're going to change our mind.
You don't think it's good to try to downplay something like that?
The short answer, no.
You're like, you know, hey.
Long answer would probably include a lot of cuss words.
Like, you know, the well water is poison, but you don't want to like alarm anyone, so you're just like, hey, not that bad.
Oh, we're way beyond that type of argument. The entirety of the internet and communication is completely poisoned. You don't yeah.
No, go ahead.
You can go online and, you know, find a random, you know, news comment section, and chances are that bots have populated it with whatever, you know, they've been told to populate it with.
Are you a good bot or a bad bot?
Well, there's probably more bad bots than good bots, because bots inherently aren't there to make you consider things. They're there to make you accept things or sway perception. That's the point of bots, is to get an opinion in as fast as possible so that people will start repeating that opinion. And we see that on Twitter a lot. We see that on definitely Facebook. I mean,
So I think we should give our listeners a little window into who we are. You know, I mean, some of you know us from Fair. Some of you know us from, you know, from In League Press. And I don't think, have we even told everyone what In League Press was?
no, I don't think we've mentioned it on the podcast yet.
So when we got done with Fair there, one way or another, it was the Kelly Thomas case in Fullerton. You know, and I'm sure you've heard of it. If not, Google it, but sorry in advance about it. But, you know, we kind of latched onto the cause on that one. I mean, the video, you kind of had to. And we started going to protest every Saturday at the Fullerton police station. We got bigger and bigger. This is in what, 2009? 2008? I can't even remember now.
I would go with 2009, 2010.
Maybe even later. Anyway, don't quote me on
Google would fix that, obviously. We're so very prepared, by the way, guys. Definitely prepared. So we have, like, we're pretty accurate within, 1 or 3 years.
Exactly. Anyway, so we met a lot of people that were involved in the causes, and we wound up going to more things like the Esel Ford and in LA, and then Occupy in LA. And when we started kind of a group that we would go and, not only film everything that happened, but give a voice to the people affected, like the parents of the kids that got killed, or the, whoever needed the voice. So, we even had AJ had like a speaker system and a generator, and we had like the people's mic, and we'd go around and let them speak to the crowd. It was we had a lot of, you can still find a lot of the videos on YouTube. Website's been gone anyway, but that's why we always probably talk about all the police stuff to begin with, and what's going on with that reform. I mean, we were big proponents for the body camera thing. We actually went to city councils before anyone had any body cameras and said, this is kind of would help in this situation.
I just want to interject real fast. Freeway and AJ of In League Press were actually the ones who went to city council meetings. Right about the time that happened, I was in Northern California and was more or less unavailable. So I want to make sure that the proper people get credit for this, and they did an epic job of representing the people.
Well, you're our web guy. Don't discount the web guy, man. Very helpful.
At any rate, you still did the legwork.
Yeah, it's just something in us there, and what we're kind of passionate about sometimes, like that Adam Toledo case in Chicago, and they said, turn around, put your hands up. Kid turns around, puts his hand up, and gets blown away. But somehow in the media, that's fine because he, for whatever reason, I don't know.
I think that's one of the biggest things that not only surprised me, but caused me to, and I wouldn't say retreat, just kind of sit back dumbfounded, was how the media reacted to it. Is a lot of these cases that are on video are clear-cut asshole police officers who are overreacting or specifically reacting knowing that they're going to get away with it. And the media is like, oh, well, guess what? The guy that this cop apprehended and took out he jaywalked 10 years ago. Oh my God, how do you support this shit? I mean, it takes just such a little amount of whataboutism that turns the media into well, there's just doubt there. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I jaywalked a lot of times. I don't deserve to be shot in the back of the head at all.
No, nobody does, really.
Nobody does.
And then they got what's that other one right now? The Andrew Brown, where they have the footage. Funny how they like, if the footage, if they feel that the footage can vindicate them at all, it comes out like within hours. But that one, they're still withholding from the public. They showed it to the lawyer of the family, and they were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It shows an execution, but they don't want to release that one to the public. It's going to get to the point where they just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think I read a tweet, oddly enough, that actually sums up this entire situation really good. And it's from some random lawyer, and I'm paraphrasing, but you might have read it. And this guy's like, I went to law school for 6 years so I could learn how to litigate the law. And these motherfuckers go to school for 6 weeks and they can enforce it all of a sudden. Like, cops get zero training, and a lot of the people who are attracted to law enforcement careers don't really care about people. They're attracted to the power, the I don't know, the ability to act with impunity. They're not there. They definitely don't have empathy, and I think when you have that kind of power, especially amongst the public, you need to be able to have empathy and care about people and be able to react to a multitude of topics in order to help people the most. I mean, some people are, so what? So some people, smoke pot in Arkansas. Do they deserve to be demonized? Hell no. Hell no. That's probably a problem with how Arkansas has evolved.
Oh yeah.
They don't. I don't know. I think that stupid people are regulating stupid people. If we really just want to get down to it, we don't have people who care enough.
All right. Well, let's change the subject here. Get on to something new. That's us running. Easy boy. So there's a scientific thing I've always tell people about. It's that what would a giraffe do if you threw it into water too deep for it to stand up in? What do you think?
I'm pretty sure it would flail around attempting to get to shallower water. And if that didn't work, well, then the obvious.
Would just sink and die while it was flailing? That's your...
Probably, yeah.
I mean, it's funny because if you go online and look it up, there's actually lots of debate about it.
Really?
Well, nobody's...
I would have never... It's never happened?
No, not that anyone's ever seen or
really
has written about. I mean, I'm sure it has happened in Rome,
like
saying up in the ocean.
Of all the people who watch animals, I'm really surprised that no one's ever seen a giraffe get too deep in water. But which kind of makes sense. They live in places that don't really have deep water, do they?
No, and like I said, it's never been documented or has happened. So there's only speculation, which is kind of the fuel for the whole debate. Some people say it would like lean, with its neck out and swim, like a horse or something would. Some people say it would sink like a stone. Some people say, like you said, it would flail around.
I think well, flailing makes sense because it's a land animal and it's not used to water, so it's panic mode, immediately panic mode. How it recovers from panic mode, if at all, is probably depending on the water. I mean, are we talking about airlifting a giraffe from the middle of the desert to the middle of the Pacific?
You couldn't do that.
I mean, it's eventually going to sink like a stone. Well, I mean, that's possible. It could happen. I'm not going to do it.
In the debate, there's actually been people that have tried to do it in like animation where they, put in exactly how giraffes react to other things. And
what the heck part?
I'm telling you, Google it.
What are you reading online? There's animations of this? Oh my God.
I'll tell you, there used to be a lot weirder things online. They're cleaning it up.
No, there still are, but there also used to be. But giraffe drowning animations, specifically to try and figure out once and for all what would happen, is 100% new to me. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I mean, what else are you gonna do? You want to know? You want to know?
I mean, it's like one of those horror questions. Like, when I say horror, those oh my god, there's absolutely zero recourse from this like moment, the last moments, because I mean, a giraffe being in too deep water is, I mean, it's totally opposite what it's used to. It can reach everything. But it's like, what if you woke up in a spacecraft? What if theoretically someone, chloroformed you or, pumped you full of sedatives and then loaded you onto a spaceship and then sent the spaceship out into the solar system, and then you woke up suddenly and you're in orbit.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, I'm running this animation that you're talking about right now. See? I'm cool with it. But I think that if you did do it, it would sound a little something like this.
That was an elephant. There was nothing about elephants here.
Accidentally hit the elephant button. You know what? Crap, man. Trying.
Aww. On a lighter note, this kind of actually reminds me of something I did with my daughter. So when she was 2 and learning about all of the animal sounds, cow goes moo, sheep goes ba, etc. I dropped in an ostrich goes blah blah, like a vampire, and it was great. And she believed that for like seriously 4 years.
Huh.
Yeah, true story. And then when, it occurred to me at one point when she was, 6 to try and remind her, because I wanted her to believe that an ostrich says blah, blah, as long as I could take it. And turns out 6 was as long as I could take it. She looked at me and said, no, that's not what they say.
Well, look, I got a special treat buzzing in right now is Lisa Stell. Let me just hit the button.
Oh, yeah, finally. What?
Wrong button. Got stuck. I guess we lost her. Terrible reception up here in the mountains. We will get her on.
I was looking forward to saying hi. Oh, man. All right, well, maybe next time, Lisa.
How about a shout out for Stephanie for liking it?
Oh, absolutely. Shout out to everyone else. I think we have a couple of people showing up maybe in the near future.
Yeah, Quinn. We might have the Mighty Quinn.
The Mighty Quinn. Wow, that's not going to go to his ego at all. In fact, I think that guy is all ego. Yeah, that's probably the proper animal sound too.
You like that? Yeah. I have to pay to get more. So. But you can do a lot with this one.
Well, I mean, the entire point of this podcast is to talk to, pretty much for me is talk to you and our friends, and then secondary is basically to explore and see what we can do with this. Why not?
That's what I'm saying. Why not?
It's fun.
Well, we don't have a guest this week, but we will start guests again up in 2 weeks from today. So keep paying attention. What else do we got? Oh, I have the scientific thing. We didn't do a scientific thing. Well, giraffe swimming thing is kind of scientific, but.
Well, I mean,
let's talk about
hilarious. That's all it is. Entropy, chaos.
Entropy.
Oh God. It's like one of your favorite words from 15 years ago.
I love entropy. All right, so the definition of entropy is it's a scientific concept as well as a measurable physical property that is most commonly associated with a state of disorder, randomness, or uncertainty. Kind of saying like, if something, how's a good way to say it?
Okay, colloquially, it is basically chaos.
Sorry. I'm going to put this away. All right, we're almost time to be done. That's a different segment. Anyway, well, like if you've never been in a car accident, then, entropy can build up on that, right? No? And then, so you're least likely to get into a car accident right after you've been in a car accident. That
is not a fair assumption at all. I mean,
you don't think?
Well, actually, it is, because if you've just been in a car accident, chances are you're not going to be in a car.
True.
Right?
Because you lose entropy on that certain thing, or it bleeds off, or I don't know.
I'm not sure your example is best suited for this here.
No, maybe it's probably a bad example. Why don't you try?
Entropy?
Yeah, what's a good example of entropy that you could put to somebody in layman's terms?
Entropy. Well, I mean, entropy, given the definition that you gave, is pretty much butterfly in a hurricane type scenario. So the best example I could give, aside from, the classic tried and true, would be, showing up at a birthday party with, something that was unexpected. Like, different cultural regala. I mean, you go to a birthday party that you've gone to every year with your best friend, and all of a sudden you're showing up in a kimono. Why? Who knows? That's entropy, because the reactions that everyone else will have towards that, whether benign or not, and to be honest, in our circle, it would be benign and probably even positive. But that's entropy, because it's unexpected. So it creates reactions and social interactions that would not have been expected and could possibly lead to a different social discourse interaction in the future. It's like, possible change, maybe. I don't know.
So neither of us know.
Yeah, pretty much. That's entropy. Duh.
All right, so we're going to get back to that one. Because I'm having a hard time.
Because you don't have a kimono?
Because I do have a kimono. I'm actually wearing it. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
You're seriously wearing a kimono?
I mean, what, Mark? You can't switch beer with margaritas. I'm going to tell you that. And that's going to be the name of this specific podcast here.
You can't switch beers. Well, I'm getting ready to take another shot here. Okay. Usually I mute myself, but maybe I just won't this time.
Don't do it.
Don't what? Don't take the shot, or don't mute myself?
No, don't mute yourself. Ready?
Yeah, well, I'm hold on, I'm not ready yet.
On 3.
I'm not even, I just said I wasn't ready, much less 3.
All right, 3 from now.
All right, fine. 3 from now.
3, 2, 1. There you go. See, that's how it sounds to do a shot, and then I'm going to do some of the margarita. Delicious.
So oddly enough, one of the best things I miss from hanging out with you, Freeway, is the whole starting drinking process. Like when we hung out,
that was way better than the ending drinking process.
Yeah, no. Check it out. I always wanted to start slow. I'd always be a shot, and then I'd sit for an hour and continue, because you got to space it out if you're going to start at noon.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, no, you weren't. You were like, pour a shot, and then like 5 minutes later, you'd be like, all right, pour another one.
You set the standard.
No, I set the standard for longevity.
That's true.
I was good for being drunk pretty much the entire day.
I have a medical condition where I actually can't get drunk.
Anymore?
No, always.
Really?
No.
No.
Drink a ton, no problem.
Huh. Yeah, well, I mean, I did the whole trial and error over years and years and years and years of this is about how drunk I can get before it's too much.
Sounds like you bled off a lot of entropy, and now you're good to go.
That's probably a very true statement.
Well, maybe. I don't know. If we have any scientists out there, please feel free to punch us when you see us or whatever.
Well, I don't know. We're not telling people to not wear their masks, so I think scientists are not ready to punch us in the face yet.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna end this thing before it just cuts out on us because I like doing an ending. I mean, it's like something.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing endings, and for those who have been listening to every episode from beginning to end, we're also going to sometime soon in the next month or two migrate to a different podcast host, and we're also probably going to start some social media and a little bit better links. I don't know. I mean, realistically, we're just two friends talking to each other, inviting our other friends to talk to us, but still kind of want to, kind of make it seem like it's more official than it's not. I don't know.
We're not selling out, no matter what Troy says.
Ah.
All right. Well, join us 2 weeks from today. We'll have a guest. We'll announce the guest on the Facebook page we have now. But until then, stay cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for all the fish.
You don't know us. You've never known us.
You don't know me. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I'm pretty basic.